The reason it took me till mid-afternoon, I've had a really, really successful and busy day today. Has everyone had a really good day? You have? You felt you've done some of those 5 high-paying activities? And not just activity, there's some productivity happening. Feels good. Nothing worse than being shattered at the end of the day and you don't feel you've achieved anything. But remember, it can be a series of exposures. So I was tearing my hair out thinking, oh, what can I do tonight that's pertinent and just seems right for now? I mean, there's many, many things we can train on. So I went through my training file and I found something. I'm trying to think of the call that I listened to, and I just made a few notes. So I'm just going to share a few things with you and ask some questions. If you've got paper and pencil, you may even like to write a few of the answers down. I think it could help you. And then what we're going to do, and remember in our team, we don't do anything negative, but obviously things happen that really do get our goat. So we're going to talk about some successes that some of you might like to share that you've had this last week or two, particularly now the children have gone back to school. And some of you might like to share some difficulties in the hope that some of us can shed some light on and sort of help you on your way. So I've got a funny feeling that this could be it's either from, and I'm trying to think of his name, gorgeous guy, spoke last at our conference, it's totally gone. I was thinking it was Brian Marsh, but I'm pretty sure it is Anthony Golay, but I'm not sure. So the first question I'd ask for you is, what is your vision? And your vision is really what would you like to achieve for you and your team? What's your vision that you'd like to achieve? Would you like to achieve that you've got a team of, say, 100 franchisees, and you can really see that you having that big team is making a difference? Is it to change the world? Is it to change people's health? Is it to change their wealth? Is it a bit of both? And also, you need to ask yourself, and also any prospect you're talking to, what would you need your check to be monthly to make you smile and think it's all worth it? Because who's had times when they think, oh, this is too hard, I'm getting too many no's, or oh, I'm too shy, or this, that, and the other, or it's just, oh, look, I think I've chosen the wrong thing. What would you need, and answer this yourself, what would you need your check to be to make you smile so you can get over all those humps? So some people might say $2,000 a month. Some people might say, God, it'd have to be at least $5,000 a month, otherwise I'm going to kill someone. So be realistic, but also be a bit hairy and audacious as well. The next question I'd like to ask you to ask yourself is Juice Plus a priority in your life? Like, is this your only business? For me, it is. So apart from my personal life and my private life, is Juice Plus a priority? Oh, yes, it most definitely is for me. Now, for some of you on the call, what you're wanting to earn a month and how many people you're wanting to help, it might not be a priority, which could mean that you're not being successful as other people, but you may be being as successful as you like. So is anyone here not happy with where their check is? Anyone not happy? It's a given that we're all grateful. Who'd like their check to go up? Okay. For those of you who aren't fussed about that's fine. It's absolutely fine. For those of you who want to go up, to a degree, you've got to make Juice Plus a priority. Okay, so if you're missing Zooms, if you're missing events, if you're not doing your customer care, and if you're missing out and talking to people, then it isn't a priority. The day that you have in front of you on your board, like I have, your 5 high-paying activities and what Tamara is always talking about, the day that you fully look at that and respect and you actually beat yourself up a little bit if you're falling behind and not doing that, that's when Juice Plus has become not your priority. And again, because it's your business, that's okay. But for those of you who put your hand up and you want your check to be more, it's got to be a priority. I had a huge breakthrough with one of our Dubai girls today. She was saying, "I've been so busy, it's so frantic up here. I'm just trying to get an hour so I can do some Juice Plus and do some more learning and that." And she said, "And I just can't." And I said, "Well, do you think you can find 10 minutes? Yeah, probably could." So it was amazing how that changed her mindset. And today I've spoken to her briefly. She's done about 3 different 10-minute sessions 3 times. She's sky high because she felt that that hour was just not attainable. You do it in stolen moments. I listened to Erin McPherson, NMD. She's only been in the company 19 months. She's got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 9-month-old. And she was saying today that she didn't, because of her other business, her husband, she didn't really have time to go to mothers groups and things like that. So she's had to do it mostly on social media. But she said she's definitely got to stick to the rules. She's absolutely got to do those priority things. But you imagine with a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 9-month-old, and being an NMD and having a team, can you imagine that she's got to make priority? But it could be in stolen moments. And scheduling, when you've got little ones like that, it's almost impossible, as you know. All of a sudden they decide to change their sleep patterns, or you've got a birthday party to take them to. You're not going to say no to the birthday party just because you've slotted your custom caring. So schedule's always got to be manipulated a little bit. Okay, so if it's not a priority, that's absolutely okay, but your dreams cannot happen unless you make Juice Plus, whether it's for 10 minutes, 5 days a week, or 2 hours, 5 days a week, or indeed 2 or 3 days going absolutely flat out while the kids are at school maybe. Your dreams cannot happen without action. Yes, you'll get a few things that are fluky, like the company might gift you a customer. You might do good customer care, and that person might become a franchisee. That's a lot of luck, and it's probably great that you did the customer care. But the action has to come from you and your contacts, and just keep doing it. And, you know, in that last call, Ronnie was saying how many customers she lost and how much money that was worth to her. We all get cancellations. My score would be way, way higher than Ronnie's. The difference is, just say I calculated that I'd lost $50,000 over my 18 years in lost customers. Could be more, who knows? Could easily be more. If I had done diligent customer care, that is not something for me to beat myself up. But if I've lost $50,000 because I was slack and didn't do the custom care, well then that is reason. And it's the same with you. Some of you have got teams who are starting to build. Some of you have got slightly bigger teams. You need to look at them and see, this is not about me. This is what my team wants. And right now at the moment, with all the renewals and things happening or not happening, you need to ask the question, do we want to bully people or push them into re-signing? Wouldn't you rather not see that person's name on your report and feel a bit as though you've failed them? Because you haven't failed them, they just haven't shone yet. So I find I'm a lot more accepting of people not re-signing and renewing. I've sent enough reminders out, I've done some personal calls, and that's all I can do. As far as I'm concerned, we just do it on a nice note. We leave the door open for them to join us at another stage. So in the meantime, though, when I'm not worrying about trying to make it happen for all those people who don't want it badly enough, I'm out there doing the 5 high-paying activities and getting new people. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Because I know, I'm privy to know that a lot of you, even on the call tonight, are very disappointed that some of your team you had and thought were going to fly, they're a little bit disenchanted at the moment, or they're feeling that it's not going to work for them. Please allow them to be where they are. Just keep loving on them and let them be okay in their decision, because it is in your interest too. Okay, so if you want to make Juice Plus a priority and you want to succeed, let's break it down. And for a lot of you, this will really work. I think it was Kira Westwick always says that, Adam's got the big grandiose ideas. She can't do that. She has to have the little, stepping stones. So have a think in the next day or so. What do you want to achieve for your Juice Plus business in the next 30 days? It's only the 6th of February and it is a short month, but by, say, the 6th of March, what do you want to achieve? For some of you, it could be 3 new customers and 1 new franchisee. For others, you're going to fairly make this happen. So in the next 30 days, you want 2 new franchisees who fast track. You want them to have plenty of customers, and you want to have a minimum of 3 to 4 customers at 30 days. It's still time for the New Year's resolutions. And that is totally doable. If you want to be really hairy and audacious, you can do it, but do something realistic for the first 30 days, because you know what? If you just put down 1 new franchisee who really gets it and fast tracks in their first 10 days, fast tracks to DBF at least, and you get 3 customers, I think that's brilliant. I really do. There'll be a lot of you who will do more, but doesn't that seem achievable more than giving yourself a task which you may be disappointed in if you don't achieve it? So that's your 30-day task. So then have a look and say, well, okay, but in the next 3 months, do I want to do that for each of those 30 days, a new franchisee who fast tracks and 3 customers each month? I would be saying in my next 3 months, I want 3 new franchisees who are going to fast track rocket right up to the SDVF in the next 3 months. So it's 3 new franchisees who are going to start. And to show that you're the leader and you're not asking them to do anything that you're not doing, you would get 2 or 3 customers for each of those 30 days. So by the time it's 3 months is up, you would have 6 to 9 new customers. And then have a look at 6 months. What do you think you want to achieve in 6 months? Well, it's going to be less than 6 months that our June conference is going to be here. And boy, have we got some big, hairy, audacious goals. I'm so excited for a lot of you. And I really believe a lot of you will make it. So if it's seeming a little bit daunting, do these little chunks. It's like how to eat an elephant, 1 bite at a time. And then it's a little bit like the 90-day game plan. And then it's really good to go back after that first 30 days and look in the mirror and say, well, why didn't I get 3 new customers? It must have been because I didn't do the numbers. Because if you're doing the numbers, you will get 3 customers in a 30-day period. And many people did last month. And if you are doing the numbers, you will definitely get 1 franchisee in the month. Sometimes a franchisee won't be a go-getter, but it's still a franchisee who's very valued in your team. Okay, so for some of you going to another level, you might only need to get to that level 1 new person who just fast tracks to direct. That person is valuable. Then we might need to respect that they don't really want to do this big time. It was just that they were able to put an order in for themselves and their husband and 2 sisters, and they got there. If they want to go further, we'll help them. So we've always got to make it realistic. And then a year. Do we want to be on a call this time next year in 2018 and still not have reached the targets that we've set, a lot of us have set for June conference? That would be really, really upsetting to most of you, I'm sure. So then what I would do, I would actually make your goals up to June conference, and rather than have a 12-month goal now, you can have a 12-month goal, but regroup after conference and redo, because you'll be inspired. So redo your 30 days, what you want to achieve. redo your 3 months and your 6 months till Christmas. Everyone understanding what I mean? Okay. So how are you going to do that? Well, obviously, we can prattle on all we want about the 5 high-paying activities. Who felt they talked to quite a few people today about Juice Plus? Just raise your hands if you did.
Whenever she finishes talking.
Yeah, okay. Who felt that they looked at their grid and they made contact with some people on those grids to do follow-up? Anyone else? No? This isn't pointing the finger either, guys. This is actually for you to think, what took my time today? Was it something important and I promised myself tomorrow that I'll get into that numbers game? Or were you doing the things that made you feel busy? Or were you making excuses? Or did it just not happen? So if you're not really doing those 5 high-paying activities, I think maybe it's a good idea to look at some limiting beliefs and see what's holding us back. So I'm sure if I asked each and every one of you, what is one limiting belief that is holding you back? I'm sure even without sharing, everyone put up their hand. Can you think of one limiting belief that probably isn't doing you any good? No? No, you're all good? It's great. If you haven't got your hand up, that's brilliant. You've got no blocks. You're barely going. It's fantastic. Yeah. I carried, up until about 4, 5, 6 months ago, I carried a few limiting beliefs about my age that I couldn't connect and inspire to some of you youngies. I've decided now that's bullshit. Because my knowledge and inspiration and encouragement is the same as anyone else's. And there's other youngies you can get inspiration from as well. So we're all valuable where we are. I also got fearful when I got terribly busy in management and I was working busy and hard instead of smart. I also worried that I was going to affect my health because I felt quite stressed because I was doing my business the wrong way. So you've got to look at those limiting beliefs and think, you know, and one of your limiting beliefs could be, oh, I couldn't possibly speak to that girl because she'll definitely think it's one of those pyramid things and she'll shoot me down, you know? So you've really got to think about it. And for those of you who think you're not confident, you've definitely got to have a little think about that and think, I can do this. I can do this. Any of those thoughts that come into my head, push them away. Okay. So if you really look at those limiting beliefs and then acknowledge that holding you back, you guys need to address them. And I'm very happy to talk to you on a Zoom or the phone to help you get past those. So if you do that exercise and feel you've got some limiting beliefs, and some of those limiting beliefs have been coming through on the worksheets for our coaching, that's when you really need to share with your sponsor or with myself or someone you feel comfortable with. Excuse me. It's a safe place, and we can help you shoot those limiting beliefs right out of the atmosphere. So it's your personal growth, though. It's your task. It's your quest. So we're not here to shoot on you. And I would encourage you guys not to shoot on yourself. Just to give yourself a choice and to make yourself not wrong. If it was something like, oh, I really should talk to more people, how about changing it to could? I really could talk to a lot more people and I'm bound to get some better results. I really could attend an event, even if I haven't got a guest, because I could learn something out of that. And I could be so inspired and passionate, and knowing it's on the following week, I can then go off and tell someone how amazing it was. So there's all these little things that you can get your belief up. So the really unhelpful stories that we've all got going around in our brain, they must be crushed before you can move on. Would you agree with that? If you've got them, you've got to crush them. And that's not always easy. And sometimes you need help with it. And sometimes you slide backwards. But we can get rid of them. So what I was hoping tonight, this interactive, and it is a fairly late call, who would like to start the ball rolling with, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, not just the last week, what successes they've had? Have they gotten quite a few new customers, and how did they get them? Would anyone, and rather than me pick on people, would anyone like to share? Just unmute yourself.
I can.
Sorry, who was that? Tanya. Thanks, darling. What's been going good for you?
Tanya. I found that I was able to visualize it better and break it down by using a whiteboard. So what I did, I kind of like put myself there, how many points did I need to get to the next level, which was sales coordinator, how many customers was that, and then also where my team was at for my structure. And so I had all of that mapped out and kind of had that in my kitchen, so I looked at it every day and I knew where I was at each and every day to be able to see where I was going, and I kind of updated that at the end of each month, so I was prepared for the next month. So it made it a little bit more achievable, crossing off customers and team. It's actually really, really exciting when you can see how close you're getting towards your goals.
Yeah, and it worked because you got to sales coordinator.
Yeah, it worked within the time frame.
So there's a great tip. Thanks, Tanya. Rachel, would you like to unmute yourself and tell us how you got your haul of about 4 or 5 new customers in school holidays?
Yeah, sure, Hill. I think for me, a lot of my limiting beliefs is just keeping myself held back. So I started to read the book The Magic and just started practicing gratitude every single day. And like Tanya, and it was from one of Tanya's tips of putting what I wanted to achieve for January, I actually put on my vision board on a post-it note that I actually had 10 customers and a couple of new franchisees, and I sort of looked at that every single day and then just started doing more, I guess, Facebook posts and being a bit more proud about what it is that I'm doing. So then I found that people came to me a little bit more. So it just works really well, and it's just about being grateful for what I do have instead of what I don't have.
And then the law of the universe, law of attraction, brings it to you.
Yeah.
Works every time. Works every time. Fantastic. Who else has had some successes? Michelle, we can see your lovely photo. Are you asleep?
No, can you hear me?
We can, loud and clear, honey. What have you been doing that's been successful?
I got 4 new customers this month, and I got those through just doing events. One was an online event, one was an event for a friend of mine, and really, just talking to people. So, that's what my month's been like.
Fantastic. And the thing is, you are a bit of an events queen. You've been doing a lot of smoothie demos and all that, and it really is showing in your customer base. So there's some tips, guys. You know, if you're not doing what the others are doing, maybe you'd like to talk to them or decide to do those or do several of them. And Miranda's saying that Michelle is awesome at events. That's lovely. I'm getting SMSs from customer care at this time of night. But at least they're getting back to me. That's the main thing. Okay, so we've had some successes. I was so proud of lots of people because, you know, being in this business for a long time, January always gives me the heebie-jeebies. I totally understand it's school holidays, totally understand everything, but it's always quite fearful for me because I think people don't understand that by the time the kids go back to school, time they get stuck into it's midway through February, and they've not wasted, but they're 6 weeks behind them that they could have been really working on people's New Year's resolutions. So as much as it's very important to have some fun with the kids and all that, it's also good for your potential franchisees to see that kids fit in with this business. You know, to go and do some sort of like the events that I know Lucy and Miranda and Tina have been doing at Kings Park. I'm sure kids could have gone to that, really. It's a big enough area so that hopefully they'd be quiet and they could do this, that and the other. So there's so much we can learn from everyone else. So before we finish for tonight, I just want to see, has anyone got, and we're not doing negative Nancy stuff here, some difficulties that they'd like to sort of just bring out to the open to see if we can give some insight and some help? Any difficulties? And you're amongst friends, so feel free to unmute and do it. No one's having difficulties? Right. Everyone's going to start doing a 30-day plan the next 30 days. Just make it little. You know, we've all got those big goals for June conference. I believe you're going to get there. But, you know, if you break it down, it is much easier. It really, really is. So thank you for being on the call tonight. It was a very simple one, but I think it really highlighted that there's still a lot of success, even though it was school holidays. And we've had a really great volume for the month, so it can only go on and get better and better. Who's building for tomorrow's event on Thursday night? Is anyone building for that? I certainly am. It's in my neck of the woods. How much clout do you think there would be if you had a guest at a doctor's home and she was speaking and we were sharing stories? Would anyone like to try and build for it in the next couple of days? Because we are planning to do it quite often. So it might be a long way for you to come, but it might take 3 phone calls in the morning, committing to going yourself and saying to any prospect, look, this doctor is amazing. It's always a fun night. I'm driving up there. I'd love you to come with me. So it's just a commitment, guys. Rather than right now on a Monday night, no, I've got no intention of building for that. And you might have reasons. I'm not criticizing. You might not have babysitters. You might have other things on. But if you haven't, my God, it's powerful. Rachel is doing the Wednesday night, the shift, I'm sure. Is that happening, Rach? That's on Wednesday night?
We've got Caitlin Field this Wednesday night as well, so NMD support, which will be good.
Yeah, she's fantastic to get your prospects in front of. She's wonderful. And then Friday there'll be Lady Lifestylers. There's so much happening. So let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Who's not coming to conference? I'm working on Jack. Everyone coming to conference? Beautiful. All right. Any questions? Just make sure there wasn't. And the other thing I thought too, how exciting is all the CLT and the Shred 10? I've been trying desperately to listen to all the recordings of Jen and Tamara and take it all in. I'm finding a little bit overwhelming at the moment, but for a lot of you who are already in that sort of thing, I think you must agree it's very exciting. So the more we add to that community, the better. So I'll say good night. I'm going to stop the recording.